Taylor with Agri Spray Drones. The T50 has arrived. We've been waiting for this moment for a long time now. The T40 has served us very well, and this is its successor. I have not seen this out of the box yet. We literally just got this in, and they wouldn't let me look at the one they unboxed. And so I'm gonna take you along for the ride as we unbox the T50 and I look at it for the first time. Let's do it. It's like Christmas around here. The most advanced spray drone on the market. Here's a moment. There it is. This thing is huge. It just looks bigger than the T40. The arms are definitely thicker. Radar is massive. Everything's so much more streamlined. All right, and for liftoff, looks like we can grab it on the back. For a big drone, this is incredibly easy to move, actually. I think it's actually improved over the T50 with our locking collars here on our arms. It just feels more rigid as you pick it up. It feels like it's much easier to maneuver. Going into the back of a truck with a T50, it's going to be a lot easier, even though it's actually a bigger drone, which is surprising. Props are white, which is interesting. Let's unwrap. Right there. White props. I believe they're the same size. It looks like the same motor as a T40. The same system, coaxial design. Now, if you guys have not seen the T40, and this is your first time seeing a design like this, a coaxial, let me explain to you kind of how this works, because it's really genius, especially for a spray drone that's lifting heavy payload. So you have two motors here, and you have two sets of props. One spins counterclockwise, one spins clockwise. What this does is each arm offsets its own torque, because on a drone you need an equal number of counterclockwise motors as clockwise motors, so the drone just doesn't sit there and spin, right? And so if you have four motors, then you have a clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise. But if one motor goes out, now you have an odd number. Well, now each arm actually offsets its own torque. Not only that, but you get double the lift on each arm. Two motors on each arm, reducing the overall size. Still four arms, but 8 motors. An incredibly high payload. The T50, just like the 40, has the highest thrust to weight ratio of any spray drone on the market. Meaning that even at a full tank, you still have a lot of thrust left, increasing safety and increasing efficiency. All right, let's unfold this thing. As you can see, everything unfolds and snaps in very easily. There is an improvement on our cam locks here. So you fold this out, lock it in, and it will not come unlocked because there's a mechanism here that you have to actually trigger if you want to unlock that. This is great because even if this loosens up, even if your turnbuckle gets loose during flight or something happens, the mechanism here prevents the arm from opening and unfolding. Very rare scenario, but we have seen that happen. We've seen about everything happen around here. All right, one more to go. There it is. So in the front, you see we've still got our FPV camera on a gimbal. This is very unique to spray drones on the market. Only DJI has spray drones with FPV cameras mounted on gimbals. Meaning you can look up down, forward, even backwards. You can literally see the spray coming out of the nozzles whenever you point that camera backwards. Also in the front, we're going to have our binocular cameras, 2 here, and then our 2 looks like down here. So we have 2 sets of binocular vision cameras. Now DJI pioneered this several years ago with the Phantom series, and these are for obstacle avoidance. So just like you have 2 eyes, I have 2 eyes, we can have depth perception. This drone has depth perception with binocular cameras. And then you add this big guy right here, the biggest radar on a drone I've ever seen. This is a DBF radar. It is spinning around inside of here. There's a radar spinning around inside of there. There's also one inside of there pointing straight up. So this does your forward, side, and upwards obstacle detection. Able to see obstacles as small as, I believe, a centimeter, possibly smaller, and quite a long ways away. If it's anything like the T40, this is going to be an awesome radar for obstacle avoidance. Another thing that DJI has done here to make this drone perfect for agriculture is this hood system here. You see these hinges? Those 2 hinges there, those 2 bolts, to get access under the hood, if you will, to the computer, to the brains, to the wiring. 2 bolts, 1 bolt there, 1 bolt there. This whole thing flips down, and now you can access all of your computer systems inside, which if you need to replace something, which happens, this is ag equipment. This is going to be used hard and abused hard. You will have to replace something. Modularity is key, and DJI has improved modularity. Even out here on the arms, on the motors, we're going to see that with the ESCs. These are the ESCs. This is what controls the motor, and these do go out eventually. You will have to replace these at some point in time. 2 bolts, 1 there and 1 there. Pull it off, unplug, put it back on. You can do this in the field, which is awesome, because that is where these drones operate, in the field. We'll move back to the center of the drone, the tank. The tank is actually a 40-liter tank, so it's the same size as the T40. The tank that comes in the drone is the same size as the T40. We have the same setup here, nozzle on the left-hand side, or cap on the left-hand side with our screen going into the tank. It is just like the 40, it is not mounted to the drone, it is loose, and it is sitting on scales. There's a scale there, 1 under there, and 1 over there. That's going to do volume by weight. So it's going to measure the amount of payload, the amount of volume, the amount of gallons you have in the drone by how much it weighs. Incredibly accurate and reliable system. Now, I'll spin this around so you guys can see the pumps. So the pumps are mounted to the back of the tank right here. Now the cool thing about this system is we can use really small pumps on the T50 because it is not a pressurized spray system since we're using the nozzles, which we'll look at here in a second. These are very small motors, and they hook to a rotary pump or an impeller style pump. So liquid's going to flow in through here. Inside of this pump here is going to be the impeller, and I'll bet you that I can take this off and show you the inside. Just like this. There you go. There's your impeller. So this is the mechanism that actually does your pumping. Extremely simple design. If this gets clogged, you saw how easy that was for me to take that off. Incredibly easy to remove, magnetically coupled to the motor, and it slides right out. Clean that out because things get sticky sometimes. Clean that out, install it back in. A very modular, simple system and lightweight system. Plus, what DJI has done here is they have offset the outlet port, meaning that as this is spinning around and turning inside, it is shooting liquid up and straight into the port here instead of in the center of the port. So we actually get higher flow rate with the T50. I believe we are over 4 gallons per minute with the T40, meaning you can empty this tank pretty quickly. All right, now the guys will never forgive me if I break this thing. Okay, we're good. Whew, that was a close one. All right, We go up into our flow meter. The hose is going to go through the arm right here. So inside the arm is the hose, and we're coming out our nozzle down here, which is a rotary atomizer. You might call it a centrifugal nozzle. There you can see it coming down. And what they've done is right here, that is a valve, an electric solenoid valve. So whenever the spray system is off, that valve closes, does not let any flow through the nozzle. And whenever the spray system is on, it opens, lets flow through, so you will get no dripping at the nozzle. And this nozzle here, like I said, rotary atomizer. So this atomizes liquid by centrifugal force. Droplets drop in the center of the disc, come out the bottom side right here, and a 360-degree pattern. The faster this nozzle spins, the smaller droplets you have. The slower it spins, the larger droplets you have. And that's something else that DJI did here. See, whenever they designed this drone, they didn't design it for maximum lift capacity whenever they did the motors on here. So you can see these motors here, they're not at 90 degrees or 180 degrees to the ground. Same thing with these motors and these props here. They're actually tilted. These are tilted back this way. Those are tilted that way. Now, if they wanted to make this to where it had maximum thrust, they would put everything flat level to the ground. That way you force everything straight down. All of your air goes straight down, maximum thrust. The reason that these props are designed like this and tilted like this is so we create an outward push, essentially, of air to create a better vortex. We rely on vortex to get our wide swath pattern. And we need a wider swath pattern with a big drone like this, and the T50 should have the widest pattern of any drone on the market and most consistent pattern whenever you couple in your rotary atomizers. Last thing on the T50 here, big improvement. Another massive radar. Very same radar as the front, just orientated differently, sideways, meaning it does backwards, downwards, and actually a little bit of forwards, obstacle detection, and the most important thing is terrain following. The T40 was a great drone, phenomenal drone, the best drone we've ever seen, and the T50 now, with the pump improvement, with the radar improvement, for better terrain following, is going to eclipse that, we think, on the terrain following aspects, on the pump aspects. And the design here is very similar to the T40. So just as reliable as the T40 was, we believe the T50 will be the same. And not only that, but if you've already got a T40 or a T30, you can use the same batteries in the T50. This right here is a T40 battery, and you can see this is the one we've used for custom application this past year. We do a lot of custom application here at Agras Spray Drones. We believe that we should understand our products as well as you do. T40 battery fits right in the T50 just like that. And you can use the DV1560, which is also the T50 battery, or the T30 battery in the T50. Same chargers, obviously, as well. The remote is in our remote box here. We also have a battery cooling station, a new and improved design. Our battery will slide right in to the cooling station. Nice place to put your foot right there. Just like that. And you'll clamp in your connector right there. Slide that in, it connects automatically. Fans right there. Great design. They've improved that design quite a bit. Now lastly, the remote. Same box as the T40, very used to this. And it looks like, no surprise here, it is the very reliable DJI RC Plus. Massive screen, touch screen, external battery. and internal battery. Long range with antennas. You can hook up the DJI relay with this. This remote is built for agriculture. Phenomenal in-field. I've shown you all I can show you on the T50, but we're going to take an in-depth dive a bit later. Stay tuned for more videos. If you have questions, if you want to see a demo, if you want to get set up with one of our dealers near you, let us know. Thanks.